Hello, hello, friends and family members. I wanted to come on here tonight to talk about a topic about face cards. You know, face cards. I myself, I'll describe the topic of the conversation tonight, um, and start off by explaining what the face card topic that I'm talking about, which I had a brief conversation yesterday about face cards. So I myself, and I spoke this in another video of mine that I did before with you all, as far as in the same person that I tend to be with my family members is the same person that I am with the outside world. I wear many hats because of my many different talents that I have, but as far as in face card, you won't never see Tamika portraying to be this type of person with these people or this type of person with that people over there. So let's talk about face cards and how many face cards. Let's try to figure out. I want to help you figure out how many face cards you have so you can start eliminating those face cards and become more balanced and grounded within yourself, within your true self. Okay, to allow people to accept you for who you are and what you stand for. So as I mentioned, I myself, all my life, for as long as I can remember, I've always treated people as if they were my family before I even had knowledge of or really got a good relationship with the Most High God, to where it's in to say that we are all family up underneath God. So I guess I would say I was raised by a good woman, a good mother who taught me self-value, how to treat people as well. Treat people as how you want to be treated. So when I deal with people throughout my life, I always had the tendency to be able to treat people as if they were my own flesh and blood, whether we were flesh and blood or not, whether we were born into the same family or not. So when I say this topic is called face cards, yes, I want you to evaluate yourself. How many face cards are you wearing? And I thank God that I only have one face card. I wear many hats because, as I mentioned, boss lady, young, black, and ambitious, because of my many different talents. So I have many hats, but my face cards in every position in life that God has placed me in, whether it's to serve people, to help beautify someone's spirit, any face card, God always kept me on the same level where I didn't have to step down from my true self to portray this certain image to be accepted by whoever. I never had to switch roles to say I have to act a certain way for these people to accept me, because my mother raised me, be who you are. She raised me to be a good woman in life, which I am today because of her. So I never have to play different face cards with different people in my life. The same person that I am with my family, I tend to be the same way with my friends, as if we were blood relatives. The same person that I am with my own children, I am the same way with other people's children as well. So the topic is face cards. Face cards. So as you know, throughout life you find yourself wearing many different faces, whether it's to fit in with this group of people, whether it's to portray this certain type of persona on a job, whether it was within your marriage, where you treat your wife a certain way than you treat, your girlfriends, or vice versa for women as well as in relationships. Some men dealing with children in relationships, they would love the woman at first, and then when the children come along, they would love the children in a different way than they love the mother. Some men play different roles where they would love the woman more than they love the children, or they would love the children more than they love the woman. So the woman could have been abused and battered by this man that's her baby's daddy or her children's father, and the father would say that he loved the children more than he loved the woman, or the woman that he was in love with first before the children came along didn't receive a certain type of love. So that's a different face card as well. If you are one way, or if you were one way with your wife or with your children's mother, but yet you can show your children a different side of you, you play a different face card. You have a different face card for each relationship in your life. Not to say, you have to learn how to get grounded within your own self, so you can eliminate these faces and be you. A lot of people, they deal with a lot of demons. As in, I'm going to continue on before I speak on this. And I want to say this first. If you have to ask somebody in their opinion about you, where you don't know if you do something to someone or wrong someone, and you have to ask another person, did I do them wrong? Then yes, you did. If it's something that you have to question, because you don't even know yourself, if you have to go to another person to ask them, did you do anything wrong? If they know what situation took place or what was said in the process. So back to, how many face cards do you have with your friends, with your mates, with your children, with other people's children? Some people, they say, oh, I love my children, but I can't stand nobody else's children. Well, do you really love your children? I mean, I know children can be a handful sometimes, and sometimes because of the way they were raised and how people parent their children, they could be a handful. But if you love your children, you should have a love for all children in this world, as I do. So let's start eliminating some of these faces. Like I said, I was having a conversation yesterday about these face cards, these different face cards, that I thank God that, my mother raised me to be true to myself, no matter who didn't like it, no matter who disagreed with it, because I'm true to myself. And being true to yourself, I can hold on to the truth. I can speak the truth. I know how to give truth. I know how to be truthful to people, because that's how my mother raised me. I'm not a yes man. I'm not a yes woman. I don't go along with any type of behavior. If I see something that I dislike, or if you ask me my honest opinion about you and what I see and what I know about you and your persona, then I will give you my honest opinion. I'm not gonna lie to you or tell you what something that I don't see. I'm gonna let you know what I see from you. So with that being said, how many face cards are y'all wearing? It's time to start removing these face cards. And grown people that love to indulge in other people's drama and other people's business, the way your daddy or the way your mama love you or the way you love your parents, you don't have that same love for the rest of the world. Whereas in my home health agency business, whether my mother and father was still here or not, or my grandmother was still here or not, in my business, I treat my clients as if they were my family, as I do. If you ever met me, then you would know that. You would know what I'm saying is to be true. So this is not about me per se, but this is a topic that I want to share with everyone. So like I said, I treat my clients like I would treat my own family members, knowing that one day I would be in their shoes, but I hope that in life with my own children that I did a good enough, well enough job for them not to subject me to a nursing home, or anything like that. I'm sure that won't happen. I have 4 daughters and I raised them by myself very well, in this life and in my lifetime and in this timeline that we're in now. I do a pretty good job, with the help of the Most High God, with raising my children, and as well as what energy that I put out in the universe. The energy that you put out in the universe, that's what you're going to receive back. So I know deep down in my soul, within my heart, and even in my flesh, that sometimes, your flesh, you have to tell your flesh to behave. Your flesh wants to take over you. And if you let your flesh overpower you, then you dim your light within inside of you. Sometimes you have to be led by the Spirit. Be led by your spirit. So that's something that I've been doing since I was a young girl, being led by the Spirit, even though I sometimes in the past as a young woman, I never even knew that this was taking place. But the older I get, the more that God bring back to my remembrance that I have always been led by Him. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for where I'm at in life. I'm grateful for my success. I just started another business. This makes it 4. I have a home health agency. I have a nonprofit organization, which is my newest business. I have a small corporation. And I have a online boutique, and I am raising 6 children, 5 of my own, and my daughter that's in college. So like I was saying about face cards and just the energy that you put out in the world is what you're going to be blessed back with. So when I mention these things, it's not to gloat, but it's because I have lived my life and I've treated people a certain way, how you do unto others as you will have them do unto you. You treat people how you want to be treated, even if they don't treat you how you treat them. Then you have to find the strength within yourself, as I myself had to do, and separate myself from certain people. So it's a lot, to try to conquer in this world with so many different spirits around you, and you never not knowing a person's intent or their motives. You never can be too sure of why these people are around you, or what face. Is that their real face? Are they wearing a mask when they come to you, when they come around you? Do you know them? How, and sometimes they don't even know themselves. You don't even know yourself, your true self, because you haven't been your true self probably since you've been a child. And wearing so many faces with this people. I got to wear this face over here to fit in. I got to wear this persona over here on this job because I can't be myself. I've never worked on a job where I couldn't be myself. And I don't know if I'm blessed to say these things or not. Because I know when I say I don't know if I'm blessed, I know I am blessed in this life. But me saying I don't know if I'm blessed, because I know deep down inside that I'm not the only one that don't have to put on different masks to operate and to be in a relationship with different people, whether they're family members, friends, co-workers, business, or what have you. So if you find yourself having that intent where you have to wear different face cards, you go around this people, and you have lost yourself. You've lost yourself within this world, within this system of the matrix. You've lost yourself, your true essence. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know why my hand shaking like that, but we gonna work through this. So you have lost your true self if you find yourself operating in a way that is not of you, that you have to change up every time you go to a different scenery. You changing up who you are, what you stand for, the things you say out your mouth, how you treat people. You go over here and you treat these people different from over there. You go over here, you go on your job, and you polite to people on your job because you get paid to do this. And if you are your true self, like you come home to your family and be your true self. Some children, as myself, my mother never bad-mouthed my father. As I said in my last video, I'm a daddy's girl. So I never knew the type of man that my father was to my mother until after my father had passed, and I was 11. So my mother didn't tell me as a young girl about the relationship that she had with my father. It wasn't until I became an adult, and I guess she saw fit to tell me about the relationship or the type of man that my father was to her. And when she shared and opened up these things about my father that I did not know, because in my mind as a young girl, when my father was still alive, I received a different type of love from him. I know he loved my mother. My mother never said that he did not love her. But some of the things that my mother shared with me that my father used to do, it would make me, I was unpleasant to hear these things about a man that I loved so dearly, that I loved so much, because I knew my mother was a good woman, and I seen them operate on different levels. They had a good relationship outside of, you know, when the relationship was over, in between them, they stayed friends. And like I said, my mother didn't tell me, as you know, as you portray, you and your baby's mother, or your baby daddy or the baby's mother, y'all don't get along. And for whatever reason y'all don't get along, or whatever reason that y'all split up in the relationship, you don't necessarily tell the children about these things. Some because they're too young, some because you don't want the child to blame you when they get older, to say, well, I never had my father in my life, and my mother or my dad kept my mother away. So for whatever reason, and just speaking in general, because I know that this is a full topic of discussion for a lot of people, and a lot of people, they like to shy away from these conversations, especially the older generation. As I was mentioning about my own experience, where about these different face cards, my father wore a different face card with his children, and I received a different type of love. But as a young girl, I would say, before my mother shared certain things with me as an adult about who my father was, when I came to her and I said I wanted to talk to her about my father and what kind of relationship they had, because certain experiences I was having within my relationships, I said, well, where is this coming from? Why do I do these things, and why do I do these things? So I went to her because my father was no longer here, to get some type of history about their relationship, or did my actions come from her, or did my actions come from my father? Because I birthed, you know, you have both of they blood within you, so you have both of your mother and father traits. No matter if you had a relationship with your mother or with your father, you still have their traits. And as a child and as adults, we tend, I'm thankful that my mother, I was able to have certain conversations with my mother, and before she passed, as well as when my father passed as a young girl, I still had my mother to tell me certain things about my father, to let me know where I received my traits from, like my behavior, my demeanor was what you know, my behavior come from, or whatever attributes that I have about myself, who did they come from? Tell me about yourself. As an adult and with our children, we tend to hide ourselves from our children, not realizing that within your children is your blood, flesh of your flesh, blood of your blood. So whatever you see that's wrong within your children, that's what's wrong with you as well. As you know, whether your parent gave you a rundown of what type of person they was when they were your age, you have those traits, whether it comes from your mother, whether it comes from your father, or whether you had a relationship with either or. So I was speaking on this to say that, a lot of people wear different face cards. Face cards. Some think that it's necessary to put on these different personas, as if also within a promiscuous relationships, whether you're a man or woman and you got multiple partners that you're dealing with, or that you say, quote unquote, that you're dating different people. So while dating these different people, you are putting on these different personas. You're wearing too many face cards. You can't even be yourself, because when you talk to this person, you got to either you got to change up who you are, because you're talking to this person. So a lot of people get sucked into other people's energy. They get sucked in people's energy, and then they lose themselves in other people's energy. Other people drain your energy, which drains your true self, where you can't operate as yourself, and they drain you because you feel the need to put on persona or act a part just to be around or to be accepting to these particular people. So I myself, because of the mother that I was raised from, the breastbone that I came from, in the household I was raised in, I don't have to put on different face cards with different people in my life, whether it's professional, my children, anyone. The same person that I am talking to you right now, this is the same person I am if I meet a stranger, hold a conversation with anybody. If I operate in my professional lifestyle, I don't have to turn off this persona, because you're going to accept me for who I am if you want to be in my life, if you want to do business with me, if you want to have a relationship with me, if you want anything with me, you're going to accept me for who I am, because I'm not going to step down off my throne. And this is what you need to tell yourself as well. Stop stepping down off your throne to allow people to drain your true essence, to drain your true energy. Be who you are, and if they can't accept you for who you are, and if they disagree with who you are and what you represent as a person, or what you represent to them, or for your own worth, to know your own worth within dealing with these different people, then you need to back away from these people. I see it too often. I know this is something that I've seen it all my life within other people. Like I said, I don't know. I know I'm blessed, but I know I'm not the only person that I don't have to portray to be this person over here, that person over there. I turn into this person almost like a Halloween movie. Every scene, you switching a mask. Every place you go, anybody, you switching up who you are. Therefore, you are losing your own self. You are getting lost. You are lost. You are a lost soul. Can't find yourself. Don't know which way to go, because you've lost yourself in so many places. You stepped down and from who you were, for these people to accept you over here, whether they understand your demeanor, whether they were raised around you or not. As adults, you think that knowing these things that I know, I'm not the only one that know these things. I might be the only one that's saying it the way that I'm bringing it to you, but I'm not the only one that's talking about it. I'm not the only one that knows better to say that people don't put on and wear different masks. They don't have different face cards. I'm telling you my honest opinions that you will be better off in your own life to be who you are, to be your true self, not to step down. I don't know what you might be in life, whether you represent the light or the darkness. It doesn't matter to me. It only matters for you. For you, you know your true self. Some operate on either side and still will step down out of their self to present something that's pleasing to another person, but it doesn't please you to present yourself like that, which only brings on different problems, different issues within yourself, for you to have to keep on changing up these face cards. Every scenery, you got to be this person, you got to change up this. Like I said, it reminds me of a horror movie. Every scene you see a different mask or a different killing. So you killing yourself when you operate in a way that you have to change who you are on every scene with every person in your life. You are spreading yourself thin. I don't know how I kept the same face. I really honestly say that it was because of my mother, and the true essence, it was the power that God gave to me to be able to be who I am, no matter who was watching from afar, up close, on this side, on that side, in the front of me or behind me. It did not matter who was around me. I am always and will be Tamika. I've never turned off or turned this way and turned that way and say, oh, let me tighten up, let me do this, let me do that, let me fix this, fix that. If there was a fixing to be done, I fixed it for myself. If it was something within me that I wanted or needed, it wasn't because I changed to do something for this person. So my question to you is, how many face cards do you have? Because as adults, we know how that game goes. But do you know how deep and how serious it is damaging yourself to change up your true essence for every person you have in your life, or for every relationship that you have in your life? You play this role over here, that role over there, that role over there. You just keep changing up your face cards, and then you lose yourself. You look in the mirror one day and you say, who is this person? I don't know who I am anymore. Because you've played so many other different roles. You go around people and you turn into them. And you lose yourself. No matter if your true self is good or evil, at this point, is what I'm trying to get you to say, see. It doesn't matter what you are or how you operate. If you accept it to operate and to be on two sides of the spectrum, you present yourself like that with everybody. Okay? You don't change yourself to be accepting to other people. Oh, I got to change this. I got to wear this. I got to do this. I got to wear this. Put on my makeup. I got to do this. I got to do that. So these people would, so this man, this woman would accept me. I got to dress like this. I got to talk like this when I go on this job. Why? You better find you a job where you could be yourself on. You better go create your own businesses so you can be yourself. So you can operate where it's not so damaging to your own light. When you have to cut off your light switch and put on somebody else's, that's damaging, whether you know it or not. And some know it and continue this same bad pattern. I don't know who this is for, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Some people are powerful within their own essence, where they will dumb you down or turn you into the person they want you to be if you're not strong enough to keep hold of your true self. If you are the type of weak person that will take other people's advice and not your own advice, and listen to yourself and not others. I know a lot of people that have to go to other people and ask them their opinion. Oh, did I do this right? Did I say something wrong? Did I do that? If you got to, that ain't right. That's because all of your life You needed somebody to okay you. You couldn't be you. You needed them to okay who you are. So you lost yourself when you look in that mirror. You lost yourself when you talk to people. You lost yourself when you don't treat this group of people how you treat it. If I treat you good, that means that you should have the same within you to treat me good, the same way that I treat you. But we adults, we know that because you do it with your children every day. Every day, man or woman. Some women cater to a man more than they cater to their own children. Aren't you wearing different face cards? Some relationships dealing with children, they treat the mama or the daddy wrong. And the children say, oh, my daddy the best. Like I said, my daddy was the best. I was a daddy's girl. The relationship that me and my father had, I loved him. I didn't know any wrong of him until he passed away. And not that he did me wrong. It's the fact that I thought that how my father loved me, that he loved my mother the same way. Now, I knew they loved one another. My mother still had a certain type of relationship, friendship with him where it was love still there, but not in a relationship type of essence anymore, so to speak. And like I said, my mother did not tell me the type of man my father was to her, like I didn't do for a long time with my children. I didn't. My oldest daughter remember how their father was when we was together because she was around. She's the oldest. She's 19, so she remember everything that I went through and everything that she saw from him. So it's not something that I have never been a person to talk bad about my relationship with their father. I know from being a child, the older you get, you're going to start asking questions. The older you get, you're going to start paying attention from out of that kiddie stage and say, well, why can't my mother love me this way? Why doesn't my father love me the same way my mother loved me? Why don't I get the same love from both of them when they should? You hold that title, you hold that important supposedly role. So why don't you operate, you men, why don't you operate like us women do when it come down to the children? And it's a lot of things behind that, you know, a lot of things, a lot of demons that most of you men are dealt with, which started from your father being fatherless men in this world. Don't know how to, never, only was raised by your mother, and don't know if you had a good upbringing, a good childhood. Some of us in our community, we had a horrible childhood, a horrible upbringing. My heart goes out to the people, and it actually shows within our communities. If you pay attention, you pay attention to the people in the community and the people that suffer the most, that are in poverty the most. You know what kind of upbringing they had. You can get a sense of that without them even telling you. So my heart goes out to those individuals that had that hard knock life, and it never got easy for you. It just got worse and worse and worse because you never had any guidance around you that was worth anything to tell you something good. And the ones that portray this certain face where you could be good to your family, your close family, and you would play on other family members. You would play on other people. You would try to get to know these people and then get them to do things for you, and then you play on these people, and then other people watching this take place, they say, oh, well, that can't be so. Why can't it be so? You wear a different face card, don't you? I thank God I don't. I don't have it in me to wear different face cards. All I know how to be is me. I'm going to treat everybody like my mother raised me to do, in a way that I want to be treated. So I don't have to unmask myself every scene that I go on. Anywhere I go, I can be Tamika. Anywhere. I don't have to unmask myself. I don't have to change anything about myself to be accepted, whether I'm a good or bad person. If you do know me throughout my life or grew up around me, then you would say she been that way all her life. I ain't never seen her this, never seen her that. Some of my Facebook friends that grew up, y'all know I grew up in Jordan Park and James Park. I came from a family line. We didn't start drama and beef, but if it came to us, oh, we tore up some butts. I came from a fighting family. I used to be a fighter back in the days. I used to take up for bullies and stuff like that. But that's needless to say. I was saying that people that really know me, that grew up in those same neighborhoods, they went to school with me, they would say, yes, she's been that way all her life. I've catered to other people's children just like they my own children. It doesn't matter if you're my family member, the neighborhood I just moved out of. I gave all kind of love to the young people in that neighborhood. It didn't matter whether they was my nephews, my nieces or not. I always been this way. And my mother, she's a big part of why I am this way that I am. So what you see now is what you would see if you ever meet me, if you ever known me. I've been this way. I don't have to unmask myself on different occasions, on different sceneries, like a horror movie where I'm changing up scenes and you changing up your face cards. So as adults, y'all know that too. Y'all know that too. How you treat your woman in your life, you might not be. How you treat your mother, you might not treat your woman that way. You don't treat your woman like you treat your mother. And some of y'all do just the opposite. Treat your woman better than you treat your mother. So it's so many face cards. It's so many ways for you to lose yourself. Okay? I want you to get back grounded again. Okay? Go deep. I know some of y'all gonna have to dig deep on this level right here, on this topic right here. Okay? That way when you look in that mirror, you don't have to be upset when you go this place and go that place and interact with these people. You ain't got to turn off who you are. Turn off your true self. I want you to be real. However you are, baby. Everybody should have that piece of you. No matter whether it's good or bad. No matter if it's good or bad about you. Whatever it is, everybody should see that. Everybody that you say you love and everybody that's kind to you, you should show that back in return. If you have it in you. If you don't, then show your true self, and I bet other people will stay away from you. I bet they'll stay away from you. But as adults, when you try to look in other people's situations and other people's lives and think that you know a person, you don't know nobody. You don't know nobody. Because it's so many face cards being worn. You don't know nobody. You don't know you don't know what's their true intent. How a man or how a woman treat their children, they don't operate with the outside world like that. But I do. I was born with this soul in me, with this essence, this aura around me. I was born with a caring spirit, with a real, genuine spirit where I don't mind showing the world my true self, who I am. I give this person everywhere I go, everywhere, any city, any state, no matter what I'm doing, you're going to get this person. I'm not going to change up. Not for you anyhow. I've changed up a lot of things, how I used to live my life, because I'm older now. I'm wiser. You know, I don't want to be foolish. I don't want to die foolish neither. I don't want to get caught up in the streets. I don't want to be behind bars. I don't want to be none of that. So why not change up for the better? When I changed up, I made those changes for me. It wasn't because somebody said, oh, I don't accept you if you don't do this, if you don't change, if you don't wear your hair this way, if you don't do this, if you don't cut yourself, or, you know, y'all men, I was saying when you cut yourself, some jobs say you got to cut your hair, or you can't, your face hair got to be trimmed up a certain type of way. I thank God that I don't have to do that. I really do. I don't have to do that. I never had to do that. The jobs that I worked, they didn't mind me wearing little funky colors in my head when I did, because I do hair. Sometimes I do my own hair, and I would advertise on my own hair, no matter whether I was in a nursing home. Some people trip, nails and all, when I used to work for other people. But I never had that problem. Never had that problem. When I made changes for myself, it was for me, not because of somebody else. Okay? So that's the moral of the story, to sum everything up. Dealing with yourself, dealing with other people. Be you. Be you. If somebody don't like you, if they don't like you for being you, guess what? They don't deserve to be around you. They don't deserve to know you. They don't deserve to share the true essence that you have. Don't change up who you are to fit in with the crowd. Why you want to be like everybody else? And you could just be you. Why? Why you want to fit in with everybody else? Y'all all being drugged the same way when you want to fit in with other people. And also when you don't treat people how you expect to be treated, or you treat these people over here differently, and you treat these people differently. These people, you got so many faces that you wear, my Lord. Some of y'all got a whole lot of layers of masks that y'all got to unmask. Not just your face, but you got a whole lot of stripping to do off of your soul. Off of your soul, because it's hiding who you really are. When you try to fit in, when you try to please other people, please you. They should be pleased to know you. They should be pleased to be around you. If they for you, if they meant to be in your life. You should wait on the changes that come from the Most High God. See, a lot of y'all allow other people to change you, and y'all don't wait on God to say, hey, it's time. It's time for you to grow up. It's time for your soul to elevate. It's time for you to stop walking in your flesh and start walking in the spirit, being led by the spirit. That'll put you on a higher standard, that'll hold you to a higher standard, and that'll only grow you and elevate you higher and higher and higher on that standard. It gets greater and greater and greater, and you become lighter and lighter and lighter. So stop allowing your flesh and other people's and their flesh control you. Control what you think about other people, because you know that everybody wear different face cards. Everybody. I don't like that that's so. But I know everybody has a different face cards for everybody. You wear a different face card with your children, on your job, with your friends, with your family, with your mother, with your father. Too many face cards. Too many face cards. Some of y'all was raised right, like me. I'm happy with being myself. I'm happy that I don't need to do anything to fit in. I can just be me. I love that. I am holding on to myself. I'm not letting y'all tear pieces of my soul, of who I am, and take that with you. Because each time that you change up for another human being in their flesh, and you say, oh, I got to do this because they like this and they like that. I got to dress this way. I got to talk this way because they like that. You are giving them a piece of your soul when you bow down to those type of, I don't know what I want to call it. Stop giving people your fake self. Give them your true self. Hold on to you. Hold on to you, because people will pass you along. Just like y'all see these trends, it's all kind of different trends trending. The trends change more than the seasons come. And every time a trend come in, you gon' fit the par. Oh, I gotta fit the par. Oh, I got the trend with this. Oh, this trending now, so let me jump on board with that. Stop jumping on board to these things, because you're only losing yourself. You only losing yourself. You creating more layers on yourself that is weighing you down. It's time for y'all to release these layers, release these masks. It's time for y'all to stop trying to fit in with the Joneses and want to trend and trend and trend. It's time for you to be who you are with everyone around you. Let people accept you for you. That'll save the world a lot of different heartaches and problems. That'll save more people in our communities a lot of heartache and problems if you be true to yourself and real with yourself. You only create more issues for yourself when you got that on and off switch. When you turn on over here, this scene, you switching up that scene, it's a different you. Then when you go home and be by yourself and you go in that bathroom and try to fix yourself, it's hard to do, ain't it? You can't even fix yourself the way you're supposed to. You don't even know who you looking at no more in that mirror, because you don't put on for everybody else. Everybody else. So the moral of the story is, we know that people have different face cards. The way that somebody treats you, they might not treat the other people the same way. And trust me, I've experienced this in my life, relationships, family, dealing with the opposite sex as well, my baby's daddy, friendships as well. People will not always treat you how you treat them. That's not what I'm saying, because we know that, because we're all different individuals. But you need to start coming around more like-minded people as yourself, that will give you what you have within you in return, because the universe will send people your way that operates the same way you do. If you don't know how to be you alone. I'm not alone. I have my children, but I used to be a outgoing person, a networking person. So I got good people skills. I could sell water to the devil if I wanted to. So I've always been a people person. I always had to present myself, whether I was advertising for my hair to get more hair clients or what have you, But I was always myself. The changes that I've made up until from then to now, I am still Tamika in the essence that I have, that I was born with, that aura that's over me and that my mother raised me to have, and that God gave me in this world to carry. That has never changed. Only thing changed was the things that I indulged in and where I'm at today in life. But who I am in the inside of me, I've been the same way back then. I've always been a good person. And this is not for people that consider themselves a good or a bad person. That's not it. I am on here to say, be you. It's time for you to work on you. Okay? If you're the type of person that's getting pulled this way and pulled that way to wear different face cards where you can't be yourself, you're only causing more stress and more heartache and more layers. You wearing yourself down. Your soul is being stripped away from you with each person that you go and switch up with and turn on and turn yourself off for. Be you. It's time for you to worry about you and treat you. Don't worry about what might be out here being said when you know you. Don't get carried away at how people view you. You view you first. You be you first. And see how much lighter your life will be, and see how much you will elevate once you become much lighter. When you become lighter, that means that you have to separate things that you were doing or that you're doing now. You might have to leave those things alone. People that you might be around right now that you got to turn on this off and turn on this turn on this conversation with them. I could talk this way with this person, talk that way with that person. You got to let that go. You got to stop switching up your face card every time the phone rang. Who are you? Who are you every time that phone rang? Stop letting other people suck you into who they are and you losing yourself in those other people. So be you. Learn how to operate for you and not for other people. Learn how to take care of you first. Ain't nobody ever gonna love you like you love you or take care of you like you love you. Learn how to have your own back. Be more creative. Set more goals. Set plans, plans that are not gonna fail. Learn how to be led by your spirit more and not your flesh. That's very important. That's very important. Because a lot of you all are trapped. Because you're being led by your flesh. Whatever your flesh wants, you give it to your flesh. You're not doing nothing to feed your soul, to feed your spirit, or your spirituality. You're not doing anything to elevate your spirit. You just feeding your flesh. And what is that doing? But what, you gaining more weight? Feeding your flesh? You feed your flesh anything. Materialistic things, food, a lot of things. Men, women. You feed your flesh so many different things. You letting people come into your life and take so much away from you and you don't even realize that. That the more people you have around you, the more they're taken away from you. If you're not able to be your true self, if you don't even know who you are anymore because you've had to wear so many masks for all these different people. So that's why I came on here. That was a topic that I wanted to share, something that I wanted to share with you all. I hope that it made sense to whoever it was supposed to make sense to. For whatever reason, God put that on my spirit to come on here and share that message with you all. Be you. Be you. And stop giving yourself to the wrong people. Stop trending with the people. Set your own trend. Set your own trend. Be you. It's good to be different. It's good to be you. Be you. So I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I just wanted to come on here and say that. And, get rid of some of your get rid of those different face cards. You should be you with everybody, every walk of life every step you take in this life, you should be able to be you. People should know you. Stop being a fake you. Being that fake person, because that fake, even when y'all operate as fake people, you ain't doing nothing but causing more hurt and pain into this world. It's hard to get rid of. Y'all creating more and more and more that it's so hard to get rid of it. It's so hard to get rid of fake people because y'all keep putting on these different faces and masks. Y'all don't want to get rid of them. So get rid of these faces. Get rid of these different face cards that y'all wear. Be you. Every step of life that you take, every person, they should know who you are. They should know who you are. If this person means something to you, then you be you. And start treating people how they deserve to be treated. If they treat you good, if they good to you, you should be good to them. So that's the moral of the story, you guys. I hope whoever the message was for, or however it came across tonight, I hope you got the message. I always come from the heart and share, my testimonies or whatever messages that God, put on my heart or my mind to say, hey, come on and share this. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know, and so on. I don't know who it's for, but I know it's for somebody out there. So I hope that you got the message, and I hope that you start making yourself lighter, taking off some of them layers, unmasking yourself so you can be you. But I love you guys. I hope you have a blessed rest of the night. I haven't been on here with any spiritual messages lately. I am going to try to share one this weekend with you all, but I'm homeschooling these children as well as being, my own boss. So it's challenging. It's challenging. I don't know what they got going on with this new virtual school stuff, but them teachers, they don't get paid. I'm doing all the work. I do all the work. And the teachers, they just pass out the assignments, but I'm doing all the work. And I love it because I know I could do a better job. I say they should be paying all the parents that's homeschooling their children right now. Let me tell you, it's challenging, but you're the best person to do it. Okay? You're the best person to be able to make a difference in your child and the way that your child learn and how smart that your child is. And I want to say something also that somebody else talked about with all this technology, the way they have this virtual school set up, right? As well as they do in Walmart with the self-checkouts. When you call and pay one of your bills on the line, you're talking to a robot, an automated system. They creating all these smart systems to eliminate your jobs. That's what they're doing. They're eliminating your jobs. When you call in to pay a phone bill and you speak to the automated system, like I just did when I paid my light bill, and then it said, would you like to stay on and leave leave your opinion for a survey about the automated system? And I did. I left my opinion, and I told whoever was listening at this particular company I was paying my bill for, after I paid it, I stayed on the